topping my 10th standard, topping my NEET state merit rank list, and being an Indian medical student, it obviously means that I must have put a lot of hours into studying and working hard. And believe it or not, I actually enjoyed each and every single minute of myself working hard because it finally came together to make the person that I am. Richard Feynman is a very famous physicist, and he often quoted by saying that he was just an ordinary person who worked incredibly hard. So if you feel that you're an average person but who has the fire in the belly to work hard and bring their ultimate potential in life to the forefront, do watch this video right up till the end because I'm going to share with you 4 rules that help me beat procrastination and actually get work done. The first principle is nuke procrastination with clarity. The distance between thinking and doing is clarity. In the absence of clarity, your mind gets distracted. The mind needs a proper direction, a laser focus to know what is to be done. Otherwise, the mind is like a flow of thoughts. Any thought, and you might have come across so many different thoughts in your mind, any thought can distract you. And you don't want your mind to be distracted in order to give focused work for long hours. In the absence of clarity, the mind gets incredibly anxious. And the food for mind is thought. So obviously you will overthink when you are not clear about what is to be done at this particular moment. One of the common solutions proposed to get rid of procrastination is to make a timetable. But I believe that we are making timetables with the wrong principles. A timetable is supposed to reflect what kind of a day you would want. So that does not mean that timetable should just include work. No, a timetable is supposed to give you freedom to allow you to do everything that you can in a particular day. So construct a timetable based on the day that you want. For example, have 2 to 3 hours of studying and then 1 hour with your family and friends and 2 hours of watching the cricket match that is going to happen live on TV. We usually make timetables when we're incredibly motivated. But when the time comes to actually do the work, do the studying, go to the gym, our motivation levels will not be at the motivation levels that we had while making the timetable. Or there might be some other important work that suddenly came up when we were planning to do a particular thing. For example, if you're planning to do studies, your mother may just come and say, just come and help me in the kitchen, and half an hour is just lost in the kitchen over there. Of course, it's a very good thing that you're helping your mother, but the mind is incredibly cunning. It will start accusing your mother. It will start telling you how useless of a human being that you are because you did not take control of a distraction when you are meant to do something else. That's why I believe that timetables are actually meant to be broken. But making a timetable does not go in vain. Your mind needs a certain direction for you to approach your day, and that is ideally given by a timetable. So to keep on the path of your goals, a timetable is required. But always revisit the timetable. Always appreciate the small changes that you may have to do in your timetable based on the situation present before you. The second principle is to use focused flow time and not the Pomodoro technique. Now, whenever a new concept like the Pomodoro technique comes about, people get extremely cultish around it. Everybody wants to try it. Everybody wants to share about how this new technique actually helped them. But personally, the Pomodoro technique never really made sense to me when I first heard it. And I know when I tried to implement this Pomodoro technique, I thought somewhere I was going wrong, that I was not able to focus properly. I was not able to get the work done. I thought there was something wrong with me. And look at these online YouTubers who are boasting about boosting their productivity with Pomodoro. But then I came across this book by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, and he defined something called as a focused flow state. In his own words, flow is the state of being completely involved in an activity for its own sake. That means you are alert, you are aware, and you enjoy a particular activity and derive pleasure just from doing that activity. It's not a means to some end, it's an end in itself. Flow emphasizes on the fact that it is always about the journey before the destination. And I really understood this principle once I started implementing it. I realized that our focus in this age with social media around is like a tight bubble, and you need to get the maximum work done only in that bubble. If you're trying to interrupt yourself every 30 minutes or every 1 hour like Pomodoro tells you to, it will not be as productive because you're destroying this entire bubble of focused productivity and you will not actually get so much of work done. My most satisfactory study sessions have always come when I am completely focused, completely engrossed in the topic, using my pencil, using my highlighter to write down stuff, to remember stuff, to actively recall, and not take break every 20 to 30 minutes, because that simply destroys the entire flow, and I feel as if I have to restart all over again, and all the effort that has gone, all the mental blocks that I have put in myself to not get distracted, I think I have to restart the entire cycle again and really put the effort to start working really hard. So if you're struggling with Pomodoro, do try the focused flow time method, and trust me, your productivity will skyrocket to the next level. The third rule is thinking is cheap, taking action is priceless. Do you know the one thing that differentiates between between a topper and the average student? That is that the topper actually studies with a sense of urgency. That does not mean that every second in their life is actually prepared. That is actually insane. They have a good judgment of where they see themselves 6 to 8 months later on in life. They understand that life is short and they work like a beast towards achieving their goals. For people is overthinking. While you're overthinking, your brain is trying to process the same information, the same problem that you had solved again and again in a spiral loop. Because when you're overthinking, literally hours and days of your time can go wasted. Overthinking is the biological process of the mind trying to get clarity. It wants to minimize anxiety, it wants to minimize the dangers, it wants to keep you safe by developing a proper plan. But trust me, you can never make timetables in your mind. You have to take the pen and paper and actually make a proper timetable. Now, do you understand why making a timetable and rule number 1 is actually making a timetable? Because the harsh reality is that without actually going on to the process, without actually starting something, you will not know the small problems hidden on the path, and therefore you can never be 100% prepared towards your goals. But the advantage of living in the 21st century is that whenever you have a hurdle, we have the necessary technology in the fingertips, so use the technology to solve the problems on your journey. The fourth principle is to use the helicopter principle to construct your working style. There are many phases in our lives, like being a student, where you actually don't have a boss, you don't have a master, you are the master of your entire mind. Of course, there's a timetable that is given to you during your college hours, but after college you're entirely free, and in the absence of that clarity, we tend to procrastinate and not study for long hours. There is no one to crack the whip on your back if you are just mindlessly wasting your time. The helicopter principle states that you need to have a coach, literally a person who's hovering over here like a helicopter and telling you when you're doing good and when you're doing bad. But this helicopter is not your boss. It's actually a friend who wants you to achieve all your goals and study incredibly hard. I like to give this coach a reward and a punishing system. If a study session doesn't go according to plan, I will try to put more effort in the next study session, squeeze out more time from distractions and future days so that I can get the work done. And since this helicopter is actually a friend, you should also give yourselves rewards by going to your favorite restaurant or going to exercise or hanging out with your friends, and reward yourself whenever you have put in the necessary work that you have to put in. Now, life is incredibly short. While we are in college, we are in a limbo. All of our expenses are paid off by our parents. But if we go to the hospital, if we go to the medicine ward, if we go to the forensic department, if we go to critical care health centers, you will hear people over there only talking about their regrets, because all of them knew that life was short and they probably wasted some time and they had deep regrets for which they cannot die peacefully. During college, you never really understand the importance of time because you are put into an environment where everybody looks the same. Everybody is young, everybody has that potential, but you will only come to know and truly value time when you go to graveyards. You will only value time when you actually talk to old people. And I should think why there is so much of regret on the deathbed. It is because of a simple principle that potential unexpressed turns into regret. And if you're in the journey of expressing your true potential, there is no time to overthink. There is no time to overanalyze the situations in your life that happened in the past or that will happen in the future. So this helicopter will keep you in the present moment. It'll be a friend that you always wished for. A friend who is not distracting you too much and a friend who is not pushing you so much that you actually burn out. That's it guys for this video. Having a strong work ethic will make you feel more confident, will boost your self-esteem, help you achieve your goals faster so that you have more time to do the things that you love, spend more time with your friends and family, and overall lead a much more satisfied and happy life. If you found any of these 4 principles useful and will implement one of these principles in your own life, do let me know in the comment section below. I will definitely respond and clarify all your doubts regarding these productivity principles. And until next time, do subscribe to the channel. See this vlog over here that I made specially for you, implementing all the tips that I shared on this channel, and I'll see you in that particular video. Bye bye.